Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. It's February. Yes, fantastic. Right, last chance coming up the next week. Come and join us as a warrior teacher. Okay, let's get started. NHS, bloody NHS. Right, here's what we've got. Okay, NHS bosses are ignoring orders to scrap diversity jobs by hiring dozens of new equality staff under Labour. The Telegraph can reveal. There's a great picture there. Look at the man in the middle of the yellow one there. It's got a fabulous look. Oh no, no more. Can we not have any more of these ridiculous diversity jobs? Yep. Obviously, they're going to employ so many people in these diversity jobs that eventually all you'll have is equality staff just walking around the hospitals and people dying on their beds. You know, it's absolutely ridiculous. So NHS bosses are ignoring these orders to scrap them. And this new analysis found that 35 equality, diversity and inclusion EDI roles have been advertised since Queer Harmer took power in governmentals. Now, you couldn't make it up, could you? All but 6 of the positions allowed staff to work from home, and some posts offered salaries of more than 80,000. Right, that's really telling. I'll say that again for those at the back. All but 6 of the positions allowed staff to work from home, and some posts offered salaries of more than 80 grand. Now, it's easy to go, 80 grand, bastards. Because, it's a lot of money, isn't it? Why are they paying people 80 grand to be, mad neo-Marxist leftists, right? But they are. That's not the bit, is it? All but 6 of the position allowed staff to work from home. If you're working from home, what are you doing? What are you designing? Training? They still designing training after all this time about this bullshit? When they've had the product on the market for so long? Or are they designing systems of control? I imagine it's the latter. The 35 EDI roles advertised since July the 5th are the equivalent of a diversity job every single week under Labour. How does that work? Does Keir get up in the morning on a Monday and go, right, let's just get this week started. What do I need to do? Oh, yeah, more diversity roles. What day is it? Monday, Keir. Oh, right, diversity roles. All right? Yeah, we got it. On Wednesday, Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, said the NHS must go back to basics and vowed not to let ideologues stand in the way of improving its performance. I don't even know what that means. Can anybody else explain it to me? Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary, said the NHS go back to basics and vowed not to let ideologues stand in the way of improving its performance. That doesn't mean anything, does it? Why is it everybody so mealy-mouthed about this? All he had to do was say, Wes Streeting, Health Secretary of the NHS, said all these roles are going and we're closing the departments down. That's all he had to say. Could he? No. You know why? Because they don't really want to do it, do they? What does he mean by ideologues? Does he mean the people that want to stop this or the people that are doing it? Come on, you tell me. Steve Barclay ordered NHS chiefs not to create specialist inclusion roles in 2023 during his time as Tory Health Secretary, but the Health Service refused to follow his instructions. Get that, right? It's just surreal. It's just surreal. So the government said, no more. And the NHS went, who do they think they are, this government? Who put them where they are? You'd think it was the people. This is a socialist state within the state. That's what the NHS has become. I don't know how to stop that, other than breaking it up. We could do with dealing with the unions, I'm sure. Mr. Streeting has not reversed the order, speaking out last year about doing daft things in the name of diversity, but the NHS continues to argue diversity jobs are important in achieving good outcomes for patients. That's absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish of the first order. Absolute rubbish. Look, you can see it here. Number of hires per week, right? So 3, yeah. For week 4, nothing. Look at this one here. That's recently, isn't it? It's got to be recently. Surreal. 29. Just utterly surreal. An analysis by Mr. Barclay of the posts advertised in recent months found that the head of EDI at NHS North East London was advertised at a salary of between £80,000 and £25. How did they come to that? How much did it pay? Say 80 grand. It's not enough. All right, 80 grand, 25 quid. Got it. That's like somebody at an auction, isn't it? They get £5, £10, £20, 50, £100. Anyone give me 100, 110, 101 pence. 80,025 and 91,336, which is even weirder. The advert stated, "You will be an exceptional leader with the ability to drive forward our EDI agenda." That's really odd, isn't it? You'll be an exceptional leader to drive forward our EDI agenda and support us to develop a culture of belonging. Right, now there's the word. You're going to see more of this word, belonging, because it's part of the same crap as well-being and all that rubbish. NHS North East London went on to say it was essential for the successful applicant to have significant experience of a senior equalities role at a large and complex organisation. Well, considering that this particular nonsense of an industry only really sort of burgeoned in the last 10 or so years, it's not likely that somebody's going to have significant experience of it as a senior equalities role. I don't even know what a senior equalities role is. It doesn't mean anything. Applicants for the head of inclusion post at the NHS Coventry and Warwickshire Integrated Care Board were offered as much as 85,601. We're back to the auction again. £601. The online advert said the successful applicant must have a genuine passion for reducing inequalities and driving social inclusion. Right, so they must have a genuine passion for driving social inclusion, which means everybody, and therefore reducing not inequalities, but standards. That's how equity works. Those applying to become the NHS England's EDI lead, a job with a salary of up to £81,138, were told they only needed to be in the office 2 days a week. I've got no problem with people working from home. I just don't think these are real jobs. They're not. They're just jobs for Labour, mentalists, leftists. The top 10 best paying jobs here, they've got a nice little table that you can have a look at, see, here in the tour graph. Yes, there you are. See, move it up and down. Oh, there we go. Yep. I wonder if it'll move. It won't move. Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Lead. The strategic lead for inclusion at the University Hospital in Morecambe Bay was £57,349. Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Lead, the one I mentioned earlier on. No, it's not. That's another one. North London, 58 grand. Head of Diversity and Inclusion, 60 grand. It goes right down to the bottom there, where you can see what we got down there. Oh, no, the other way around. 91,000 for, North East London. Gosh, what a boondoggle this is. Colleagues with a contractual office space are expected to spend on average at least 40% of their time working in person, the advert read. Working in person. Mr. Streeting said, "Our country is rife with health inequalities, with black women twice as likely to die in childbirth than white women, and children born in Blackpool likely to die 8 years earlier than children born in Kensington. What, you think of paying some twat 80 grand to rattle on about equity is going to change that, do you?" It's exactly why I want the diversity and equality focus of our NHS to be on how we tackle those health inequalities. Right? Yep. And get the NHS back to basics and delivering for patients, not on pointless ideological changes. Well said, Wes. They aren't going to listen to you. They aren't going to do it. And the reason that they aren't going to do it is because the NHS isn't run by you. It's run by the unions. That's why they're not going to do it. Not until you break up the unions. You need to sort the unions out. Cripple the unions and we can get back to business. Then you can fire a few people and the games will really start. As Health Secretary as Health Secretary under Rishi Sunak, Mr. Barclay told NHS leaders to stop hiring EDI roles altogether. He told leaders who refused to scrap the roles to justify in public why such roles add more value than additional medical or healthcare staff, and they can't do it. But NHS bosses defended the position, telling Mr. Barclay he did not understand the contribution that a focus on equality and diversity makes to our staff and patients. Oh my God, the priestly class of the left, those middle class, shabbily quaffing cheeseboard munchers. Yeah, but he's very nice, is our Wes, but he doesn't understand the mantras of our cult. It's just the old priestly class with the knowledge they don't want to spread. So Julian Hartley, the then chief executive at NHS Providers, claimed the roles were vital. How did he do that? That's what I want to know. How did he claim the roles were vital? These roles are vital. You don't understand. They're vital. It's just insane. Absolutely insane. Matthew Taylor, chief executive of the NHS Confederation, insisted foreign-born staff need specific support and assistance. Yeah, they need to learn to speak the language of the country in which they are, and they learn to understand that they abide by our cultural norms, not theirs. How about that? But it won't be that. It won't be that. It won't be that. Mr. Barclay told the Telegraph, so Julian Hartley, was the one who said need specific support and assistance. Mr. Barclay told the Telegraph, so Julian Hartley was the one who said need specific support and assistance. Mr. Barclay told the Telegraph, so Julian Hartley was the one who said need specific support and assistance. Mr. Barclay told the Telegraph, so Julian Hartley was the one who said need specific support and assistance. and that they were vital, along with Matthew Taylor. I mean, it's just not vital. Mr. Barkey told the Telegraph, I've long tried to bring an end to dedicated EDI roles in the health service. They don't represent value for money for taxpayers, divert resources from frontline needs, and seem more interested in pushing highly politicised ideology than actually improving care. Do you think? Bureaucrats did everything they could to frustrate my DEI crackdown, and now under Labour they seem free to recruit even more on eye-watering salaries, whilst at the same time experts have called the emergency care on offer to patients degrading and dangerous. Interesting. Now, Lee Anderson, who is wonderfully brusque is a good word, isn't it? Brusque. The Reform MP for Ashfield added, EDI hiring practices are inherently discriminatory, practice prioritising race, religion or ethnicity over performance and qualifications. Don't forget gender fields. Since Labour came to power, EDI roles have soared. 35 positions are advertised weekly. 35. Mr. Anderson said EDI roles had no place in the workplace and insisted merit and fairness should always come first. Now, there's been some interesting conversations, he said, smacking his lips. There's been some interesting conversations about this going on. I'm going to talk more about that tomorrow. So that's enough for today. All right, go and do your thing. Do your thing. And share, subscribe, the usual stuff. Buy me a coffee. Come and be a warrior teacher. Go and have a fantastic day. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.